Over the past 8 years, everyone witnessed the mainstream media absolutely fall apart and melt down over Donald Trump. And that includes the mainstream sports media, places like ESPN, who for some reason decided that this was the opportunity to get very inherently political. And as a result, we've seen them having failing ratings. We've seen massive problems as viewers have left ESPN in droves. That's one of the reasons they went out and got Pat McAfee, who had a massive audience as ESPN realized they were losing all of theirs. Well, Pat McAfee doesn't seem nearly as ideologically aligned as almost every other host on ESPN. So I guess it shouldn't come as a surprise that there are people that are furious with Pat McAfee during an interview with Dana White of UFC that they allowed him to talk so positively about Trump, but that's exactly what happened. Dana White calls Trump the ultimate American badass following assassination attempt. And you can see some articles from places like Awful Announcing, who always have an agenda. Dana White put Donald Trump on a pedestal during the Pat McAfee show on ESPN. And I want to play a couple things. One is a clip of him setting up, talking about how it does relate to UFC, how Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor kind of had a uniting thing over this, over the assassination attempt on Donald Trump, and Dana White's response to this. Let's listen.
And that'll obviously span into a conversation about a great friend of yours. Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler shared a tweet in a bond over a feeling of the things that took place in Butler, Pennsylvania, whenever President Trump was shot at by a sniper who's 20 years old from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Michael Chandler said, "We stand united on this one," where Conor McGregor said, "This billionaire could be doing anything. Instead, he's eating bullets right now trying to run for president." And then Conor McGregor replied to Michael Chandler. He said, "I talked to Dana today about our new date. All looking good. 24 for sure." Now, obviously, the history between Conor and Chandler is very long, and people have been waiting for this fight for a long time. Is this tweet accurate? And what are your thoughts on the buzz that this fight still has? Has to be a good thing.
Yeah, so, I'm in Italy right now, and I was flying over here, and I was sleeping on the plane, and my wife woke me up and told me that somebody shot President Trump. And, obviously, very, very close, good friends of mine. So I started freaking out, and I grabbed my phone. I had like 350 text messages. So I was just trying to figure out what was going on with him. And then Conor was one of the guys that reached out to me about him. Obviously a support and, taking a shot at the president. Some of the things that are being said, it's like, this is a former president and a candidate. I mean, imagine if somebody took a shot at Biden or Obama or Clinton. It's like, this is our president. It's, you know what I mean? If it happened to anybody, any of our presidents,
And that is a great point. I do think, I'll be very honest, I think that if somebody had taken a shot at Biden or Obama or whatever, I believe there would be a small fraction of people that would be acting as vicious and demented as some of the other lunatics we've seen. Not nearly as many, though. Not nearly as many as we have ended up seeing. But this is about a president. It doesn't matter what your political affiliation truly is. This is a horrifying event. And it's the first time in decades we've seen something like this happen.
Every American on earth should be horrified by this and disgusted and upset and angry. What is the question you asked me?
Well,
about the...
Of course, this is he's like trying to get back to the fight. I'm sure that's what Pat McAfee wanted to more talk about. But Pat McAfee's also not a guy who's going to stop somebody from talking about what they want to talk about on his show, at least typically. And that did spin into about a 5-minute discussion. ESPN can't be happy with this. I'm sure a lot of the pundits there are fucking furious that Pat McAfee let this happen. A lot of the fucking woke lunatics are not happy that this happened on ESPN either. But it ended up being a couple-minute, basically promotion of Trump by Dana White, because what we witnessed, being shot, going down, and then standing up, raising his fist in the air, all of that, it was one of the images and one of the videos that is going to be around for all of eternity, because of just how impactful that was. So let's listen to Dana. I'm sure piss off a lot of people at ESPN with these comments.
I've been saying this forever about this guy. He is one of the toughest, most resilient human beings that I have ever met in my life. And let me tell you what, everybody wants to act like a tough guy, right? Everybody wants to act like a tough guy. Well, when the shit goes down, you find out who tough guys are and who tough guys are not. This guy is the legitimate ultimate American badass of all time. You know, the guy takes a shot at him. He goes down. He stands up, and then he starts chanting to the crowd and you know, fight, fight, fight. I literally was blown away. I called him as soon as I landed. I called him, and he answered, and he was already home from the hospital. And we talked for like 30 minutes. Pat, I'm telling you, I have never known a human being like this in my life. He is literally one of the toughest, most badass guys of all time. And listen, you don't like him. You can say whatever you want about him. It is undebatable now. Literally undebatable. This a sniper tried to take a shot at him and missed him by millimeters. A bullet through the ear. I had a buddy in Boston when we grew up, and a bunch of guys tried to kill him one night outside of a bar. And he was never the same again. He was never the same. He literally moved out of South Boston and went down South Shore and was never the same again mentally after that happened to him. This guy is almost 80 years old. The guy tried to blow his head off. And to have the reaction that he did when he got up, this guy's been a friend of mine for 25 years. He's one of the greatest human beings I've ever met. He's an unbelievable friend, and he is forever now the ultimate American badass. That picture that you just showed will go down in history 100 years after we're dead.
There you have it, right? Dana White about his good friend Donald Trump being very upfront on ESPN. There were people yesterday losing their fucking minds over this. They can't stand it. But this is the same ESPN that for the past decade has gotten inherently political on the opposite side. They push so hard, they pushed half of their fucking audience away. And so I don't think you have any right now to be angry that somebody with an opposing point of view is on the Pat McAfee show talking about how badass it was what Trump did in the aftermath of the assassination attempt. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.